Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And today, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. How are you, Captain America?
Doing pretty well, Brian.
I was really threw you off guard there.
No, yeah, Captain America. I mean, I've never been called that before. I don't think ever, dude. But I'm feeling good. You know, a little tired. Long night last night. Not a great night for if you're a Met fan, but I'm excited to be here. We got Masters. We got Rangers today. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yes, it's going to be a great show. Obviously, baseball, hockey, golf. But in my reference to Captain America, you, Tony Renee, some of the hardest working people in America. Live show. Now, did it start at 2 Eastern?
2:30 almost.
2:30.
Yeah.
And how about Michael making it to the gym after? I mean, just talk about the epitome of dedication. It really is unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's funny because he actually said it. He was like, "Oh, like we talked about doing the show like early this morning before Sports Sport," and then Jay was like, "Yo, why don't you just do it right after the movie?" And we thought about it, and then even Mike was like, "Oh, that would kind of like make sense because then I can do the show and then go right to the gym and then like
go to bed
and then like nap for a little bit and then grind." So it worked out quite nicely. Super fun experience being in costume with them too at the theater. But
as always,
dude, I gotta say, probably one of my worst movie theater experiences.
And I was gonna say, and obviously, if everybody hasn't seen it, the video is out on YouTube. The review of is it called just the
Super Mario Bros.
movie? And I was chuckling watching some of the bites from it. And speaking to what you just said, Tony was talking about theater management.
Yeah,
seems like it could be your next kind of business idea.
Dude, honestly, I understand like it's midnight and whatever.
Assistant general manager.
Yeah, you gotta like have someone in charge.
Junior general manager.
Something, dude. But they were actually all super nice and everything. And it was just like, it was funny because like the projector wasn't working in one theater. We had to move. And then like literally, dude, like the movie starts and the lights go off for like a second and come back on. And then everyone's like, what the fuck? Like someone had to leave and tell the guy like, hey, the lights are still on. And but it's all right, dude. It happens. And we saw the movie. I was fucking so worried that like halfway through the movie.
How did that just start? Is it because of my chair?
Oh, yeah, maybe, dude.
Or is Michael like playing like a joke on this? Must be the chair. How else would that just start?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
There's a ghost in here, dude.
But yeah, they were super nice. But literally, I was worried because like even the movie, the projector we were in was like kind of glitchy. So I was like, dude, God forbid, like halfway through the movie, just like done. And then there's like we can't show it and then all that for nothing. But we made it through. We did it, and it was a successful time. So go out there. If you're interested in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, you can check it out, go watch it, and go watch a review about it. Because about an hour-long episode. I think we had some good talks and some good points to bring up.
Yeah. No. In the intro, just teasing that, I thought that was a job well done, so organic. So definitely check that out. And so I thought that part was hilarious. And then Renee talking about how. Like if it wasn't, I don't know, something about how like she wouldn't normally wear a costume and go see the movie at midnight or something.
Yeah, no, definitely. She's tired, dude.
That one just got me chuckling a little bit. So that was good. But yeah, obviously, definitely, check that one out. Before we get started, some comments from Matthew.
Yeah, a lot of comments. He says, cheers. And he says, this is the best. He says, go America, golf. The costumes are incredible. Watching it right now, running it on the other tab. Get in there, Tony. And then he goes, oh, Barnes, let's go see it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, dude.
Right now.
No
dude.
interest.
I just for me, I feel like I get a better taste just watching you, Michael, Renee,
If you were able, like if your dad was like, hey, Brian, you can knock off work right now, but you have to go see this movie.
I'd rather work.
What?
It's just not my thing. I don't know. It would be a struggle to get through it.
All right,
honestly.
that's fine. That's fine.
You know, but like I said, love what you guys do. The passion, the work ethic. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, brother.
And of course, Matthew, we love him and appreciate him. Always there on a daily basis. So we love that. We know he's excited about the Masters, which we'll get to in a second. But as always, Tony, let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right, Tony. So unfortunately, it's just one of those mornings where you can't wait for the next game to begin. Both of us in the same boat. And it's one of those things. I guess I'll go first. But the Yankees lose 4-1 to the Phillies. And this one, unfortunately, just did not get off to a good start. Kyle Schwarber taking one deep to right in the first inning off Domingo Germán. Brandon Marsh adding a second home run there in the third inning. And then the Phillies also getting two more in the fifth, a Trey Turner single and a Kyle Schwarber single. So all 4 runs charged to Domingo Germán. Michael King did come in and did allow those inherited runners to score. Hopefully everything's good with him. A little spotty to start this season. And I guess there were some talks about velocity being down. So fingers crossed, on that end of things. But this was one of those games that really reminded you of when the Yankees last summer, were in the midst of it with the scoring, the runs, the hits. Only 4 hits in this one. The only run that they scored was actually in the 9th inning. So we're on the verge of getting shut out by a winless team up to that point. But DJ LeMahieu with a homer off Craig Kimbrell. And it seems like no matter what the scenario is, it seems like the Yankees always are able to score at least one off Kimbrell. But then again, who isn't in a clutch situation? The other hits in this one, Glaber, Stanton, and Anthony Volpe had a single as well. So just a frustrating night. And I think one thing too, as Waldo Cabrera hasn't played the last 2 days, you've had Aaron Hicks in there. He hasn't got a hit. He's getting booed. We know the whole scenario. Tony liked that one. We know the whole scenario with him, complaining about playing time. And it's like, get a clue. I was talking about this with Bill this morning, and we were saying, it wasn't last year, it wasn't this year. It was probably the year before that where he should have been let go. So the fact, that he's still here is completely ridiculous. And they can talk about dead money and all of that, but it's just like, you're going to have to pay him anyway, first of all. Second of all, I would say he's losing you money based on how poorly he plays. So it's just a net negative. So
and it's like team morale,
exactly,
all around.
Exactly. It's Joey Gallo, but even worse, I think, right before the trade deadline last year.
Joey Gallo's doing pretty well in Minnesota.
A couple dingers.
Yeah.
But probably hitting like 120.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. IKF in center. I'm not sure what that's all about. He just played there on Sunday. So it's so early in the season, and to have those guys playing, at this stage, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you have to start Josh Donaldson every day. He's now hitting 133 and popped up to first base with runners on, with a chance to actually tie the game last night. I do not know what it is with the stubbornness of hitting him 5th in the order. There's just no reason for it. And, I think at first some people probably thought, I'm just giving him a hard time. We've seen enough of it, Tony, and I've been patient enough. Last year was tough enough. The playoffs was tough enough. It's just one of those things that just really, really doesn't make sense. And it's, I just don't have an explanation for it. And I really hope, today, quick turnaround, 1:00 game. So I really hope, he's out of the lineup. Hicks is out of the lineup. IKF's out of the lineup. You'd think Trevino would be back in there, Rizzo back in there, and really get our, Cabrera back in there. Let's get our best lineup in this game. So that's kind of my thoughts. And I mean, they struck out 9 times. I mean, that's not crazy. I think it's just when you have your stars, unable to produce anything last night other than, Glaber and Stanton singling, LeMay with the home run, obviously, you need other guys to contribute. And we've seen time and time again, Hicks, IKF, and Donaldson are just not going to do that. And especially they had Rizzo with a bat in the 9th inning with 2 runners on. I mean, why wouldn't you pinch hit Rizzo right then and there? I mean, it really is just idiotic. So it's a shame. I mean, obviously the Phillies were going to win a game. I mean, you start out in 4, you saw the desperation. Rob Thompson going to his bullpen early and often. Matt Stram, did give him 4 innings to start the game. And then he went right to Bilotti and Alvarado. So you understand that, but I think at the end of the day, you got a great pitching matchup between Garrett Cole and Aaron Nola, 1:00 at the stadium today. Kind of an overcast day, but should be clear. And you just want to, pick up this victory before you head to Baltimore. And I think the bullpen, for the most part, is fairly well rested. Abreu gave you 2 innings of scoreless ball last night. Jimmy Cordero pitched an inning, but obviously you didn't go to Loaizaga, you didn't go to Holmes, you didn't go to Peralta, just to name a couple guys. So plenty of options, I think, for today's game. And you think, too, that Cole could at least give you 6 or 7. So while it was an extremely disappointing night on the diamond last night, we look forward to today, and it's just on to the next one. And I know, Tony, that you couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's early in the season here. I guess you're kind of getting the kinks out. I wonder, at what point, I think there's a few question marks. You mentioned IKF, Aaron Hicks. What do you do with these guys? I mean, do you really think IKF can survive in the outfield?
No. He let one. I don't know. Was it last night that he let one go over his head? I don't know. There was one. I think it was last night. You don't have a guy 5'8" playing center field. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that. I think they're all by the trade deadline should be gone. And just, kind of reading the room, it seems like Hicks is going to be the first one. But it's like, I mean, if they were smart, I mean, they would definitely get at least IKF. Like, I don't know, just as a backup, I guess. Like it's,
to have
it's not the worst thing in the world. But Donaldson Hicks, I mean, should really be released before the end of the month. I mean, it just, and you listen. I was listening to Grassa and DiPietro in the morning today. All the angry fans calling up Cashman. What's he thinking? The old, adage about what would George do?
Oh, jeez.
Because I mean, it just there's no way Josh Donaldson is not going to get hot, and neither is Aaron Hicks. It's just not going to happen.
No, yeah, it's not.
So a little bit of a tough feeling this morning after, a great run to start the season, 1 out of 3 out of 4. But like I said, don't start a losing streak. You got your best pitcher going, just win the game today, and then it's on to Baltimore, and that's it.
Yeah.
No 2 ways about it. And then one thing too, before we go Mets here, LeMahieu, I mentioned, had the home run in the 9th. It was close on 2 other swings as well. So it does seem like in the early going here, DJ LeMahieu is healthy. And going to be a big part of that lineup. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, very important.
We saw 10-0 Monday, 9-0 on Tuesday. I mean, how are you hanging in there, sir?
Not really very well. You already alluded to it. Mets lost 9-0 yesterday to the Braves. I don't know. Max Scherzer was like another first inning. I think he gave up a home run. I think Brian Anderson
is 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah, 2 home runs.
Fantasy, Tony. Fantasy.
Oh, he is really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you, dude. That's a good pickup.
You remember for the Marlins poking a couple out, right?
Yeah.
Sounds convincing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But looking at what happened yesterday with Scherzer, like I said, I think it was an Anderson double actually to start off the run. It was a 2-run double. Yelich and Adames score. and again, a little bit of a rough first inning for Scherzer, which is kind of what we saw out of his first outing too. Nothing that was really like lights out and giving people confidence, but he kind of like really dials it down and just focuses and has great stuff basically up until the sixth inning. His final line was 5 1/3 innings, give him 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 Ks through 94 pitches. Only 64 of them were strikes. So not a great ratio there. And like I mentioned, 6th inning was a little bit of an implosion here. Gives up a home run to Tellez, Anderson, and Mitchell. Second time in his career he's given up back-to-back home runs like that. And obviously it's not really a great feeling for him. And then you try to bring in some bullpen guys, but at that point, after the 6th inning, it's 5-0. The Mets had nothing going on for them, basically for up until then, really, and then obviously continued to have nothing going on for them because they didn't score any runs. You look at the box score here, and I guess you could say McNeil went 3 for 3, Nimmo went 3 for 4. But other than that, I mean, Escobar 1 for 4, Marte 1 for 4, and then everyone else did not have a hit. So only 4 players in your lineup got hits. Tomas Nido 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Tommy Pham at the DH spot 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Alonso 0 for 4, Lindor 0 for 4. It's just not a great look at all here. And it's funny because it's same deal where you listen to the radio or you're on Twitter and people are talking and
Applers come up. I've heard that a couple times.
Yeah, and people are like, it's so funny because people are like, oh man, the season's over. This is ridiculous. We're trash. Pitching is terrible. Our lineup can't hit anything. And I don't know, man. I mean, part of me thinks like, yeah, that's right, but then like, I don't know. And I remember like some guy said that, oh, they're just in a slump. Like, what are you worried about? But it's like, dude, start of the season.
Yeah.
And like starting off the season in a slump, dude. And it's just like,
no, that feels real good.
I mean, 0 to like 10-0, 9-0. Like that's not just like a slump, that's just like you don't know what's going on, basically. And you expect, again, someone like Milwaukee, and we know that they have talented hitters, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, 9 runs is just crazy. And scoring nothing against Wade Miley. Understand, I guess he had a solid year with like Cincinnati like 2 years ago. I think he had an ERA under 3 over like 130 innings pitched or something like that. But I mean, it's just, he was the Cubs last season, barely pitched. And it's just like how do you not just like absolutely clobber this guy?
Or just how about get something
going?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't get anything going at all. I mean, I think it's a total embarrassment. I mean, you had 8 hits on the day. You 0 for 5 with some runners in scoring position. So, like, obviously you could do work there, but it's just like, I mean, you got to get some type of momentum going. I mean, you give it up, 2 runs in the first inning, and then you just have nothing going. And it's just not a good feeling. It's really tough, dude, because like our pitching is in seemingly, Verlander's out. Scherzer isn't really pitching well. And it's like, what do we rely? Like, obviously, Carrasco isn't pitching well, and it's like you're relying on McGill and David Peterson to kind of pick up some slack here. I think that's a little unrealistic. Bullpen's been doing pretty well. Rayleigh last night got a little popped, but other than that, I mean, the bullpen in general, Ottavino, yeah, been doing some great work there, which is nice. But I just feel like it's a story of the Mets typically, where it's just like, oh yeah, one thing that typically isn't going well is going well, but then like, oh, like your starting pitching isn't going well. It's like, okay, well, that like what the hell,
Right.
And I don't know. I don't think it's going to really get much easier for us tonight. As we finish up the series, I believe, last game of the series,
1:40. So the Mets have an afternoon game as well.
Yeah. So I mean that's great for them, I suppose. Body clock, but David Peterson's on the mound here, and again, he had a great outing. I think gave up 8 hits, only 1 earned run over like 6 innings his first outing, with like 5, maybe 7 Ks. So
5 Ks.
5 Ks. He had some pretty good stuff. But you're going up against Corbin Burns, and I mean,
7.20 ERA.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. But with the way the Mets have been kind of looking at the plate, I mean, it just doesn't really seem very positive going up against Corbin Burns. I mean, maybe you can get something going.
But sometimes these situations, though, you know what I mean? You completely write it off and they just shellac them.
Yeah, no, it's very possible they come out here like, red hot, But then I don't know. It's just like I feel like you're just waiting for David Peterson at some point to have like a fifth inning where it's just like total implosion.
Like the original David Peterson.
So I don't know, dude. Again, like you don't have a lot of trust in David Peterson. You would expect Burns to have a good outing. So I mean, it looks a little dim here. Again, you need like Nimmo, you love it 3 for 4, starting off the lineup. Like that's the start you want. But it's just like the other guys just gotta fucking pick it up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have you just can't have 0 for 4 nights across the board for everyone.
Yeah, and then with top prospects sitting in the minors.
Yeah.
Going. What was it? Brett Beatty's injured.
Yeah, he. I didn't hear much yesterday. He was taken out of the game. I think he fouled a ball off. I didn't see if it hit his hand exactly, if it just like stung him a little bit. But he finished the at bat and then took him out of the game. I would imagine it's precautionary.
Yeah. But just figures, obviously. Just
Yeah, of course,
icing on the case.
Yeah, the icing on the case, Brian. But it's just like, yeah, maybe Brett Beatty should be up in the majors. Maybe Alvarez should be up in the majors. Like maybe these guys should be playing
the
in the
legend
majors,
from last night's showing, Renee Viviano. I was telling everyone before, I was getting a kick out of the video. I was watching it this morning when you were like, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for this, I'm not coming here dressed up in a costume watching this movie at 12. Paraphrasing, but that's what you were saying. But Tony, I mean, it is just it's tough. But I mean, do you feel like just it's kind of a recency thing overall? Like you're still as optimistic as the season started? As when the season started?
I mean, I guess.
You seem a little beaten down for 6 games in.
No, yeah. I mean, it is a little ridiculous to be getting blown out of these games like this early in the season, too. Just like what's the deal with Max Scherzer, dude? Like, what's the deal with us not hitting?
Velocity there?
Velocity's there. I mean, there's a dip down the stretch of the game, but I mean, it just seems like he was struggling to locate that slider that was doing so well for him in the last outing. And I mean, it seems like his fastball is becoming hittable. So,
hey, man. I mean, David Peterson, we've seen him save the Mets before.
Yeah, we have
going back a couple years.
So we'll see, dude.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and
really
I think we're not in shape yet to kind of deal with these losses. They're hitting us harder because the season just started,
right?
And it's just annoying. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
But I think you just got to just go out there, do the job today, and then let the rest take care of itself. Yeah. The Mets are headed home for their home opener after this, or
yeah, back against Miami, which is nice.
Yep.
So, the first matchup, which should have been Verlander, is going to be Tyler
McGill, and is that tomorrow or Friday?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so 4 games set.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you're coming home too, so obviously you feel pretty good about that, and you just got to hope that Burns is off of his game again. You just never know.
Yeah, no, yeah, always hopeful, dude.
I was riled. Being an idiot, I picked Andrew Heaney for my fantasy team, the 18 team.
Really?
And last night I was so happy. I benched him because we have start limits and stuff. 2 2/3, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2 home runs. 69 pitches.
Oh my gosh.
At the hands of the Orioles. Kyle Gibson, 2-0 so far, 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. So the Rangers go to 3-2 here. Adolis Garcia with his first home run of the season last night. But the Birds start 3-2 as well. You know who's off to a really hot start, and I picked him up in a couple leagues, is Jorge Mateo, the former Yankee top prospect, shortstop, lightning quick. And he's hitting 357 with 2 home runs, with a 1233 OPS.
Jesus,
to begin this year.
That's very impressive.
Still only 27, which is kind of crazy because you just think about how far back he goes, how long in the minors he was. He's part of the Sonny Gray deals, and somehow he finds his way to, I think it was San Diego and then Baltimore, which is kind of interesting. So starting with the Yankees and definitely traveling around a little bit. He also has 4 stolen bases, hit 35 steals last year, but only hit 221. So I think that's going to be a tough one. A 4-game set in Camden Yards this weekend for the Yankees. I mean, It's
some good
not
baseball,
the trip that it once was.
No,
I hate
but-
the left field. That is the worst like design thing I've ever seen. It's not even just because of distance, just aesthetically, it looks
doesn't
like
look
shit.
good. Yeah, it does.
I mean, crazy. But I know they did that to kind of help out the pitchers. And yeah, Tony, you know what? Might as well pull it up for the fans, though.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's see.
And it's like, especially because the Orioles, they got some good hitters now. Gunnar Henderson,
Yeah,
Adley
dude.
Rutschman. I mean, if those guys want to hit home runs to the left, I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, I don't know. I just think it might be counterproductive on their end.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rutschman, by the way, very impressive.
Oh yeah,
Very
you
impressed
knew
with
it.
him.
You knew it from day one. True
Oh, yeah.
professional.
So is this a little bit of a before and after here? Not a really
Yeah.
great photo, dude.
I think that we need like a zoomed in straight.
I know. This is kind of tough, dude.
I can't believe they don't have it.
Yeah, right. You would think this is like talking the town here.
Is that what about that one with the tarp? Little ways down, no.
That
That one to the right? No.
I mean, this is it. I guess.
It kind of
When
shows
they
it,
were
though.
under construction.
But is that gray area that was all taken out?
I guess.
Yeah, because the walls.
Yeah,
high.
the walls. Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh.
I just look it up. The dimensions. Just search Cameron Yards. I'm just curious. I mean, it's got to be 370 to left. What is this? Cores?
Honestly. Dimensions, dude. Left field line is 333. Maybe that was before though.
Yeah. Go to Oriole Park at Cameron Yards. Right there, down, right there.
Wikipedia?
Yeah. Should be updated. Go down a
You
little
think
bit.
so?
On the right side, you should see it. Little ways.
Field size, left field 333.
It just that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, no way, dude. Why do they change the dimensions home run and have fairer and perhaps more appealing free agent pitchers? Yeah.
Or what are the dimensions of Oriole Park? Still says the same thing.
Baltimore Sun reported that
left field was
290. Center field is 412.
Oh, so they did. So it went from 290 to. I didn't think anybody had a left field that was under 300 yards.
That seems
or feet,
really
right?
short. Yeah, dude.
All this misinformation today, Tony.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Nevertheless, I mean, it looks very unnatural. And from my eyes, Tony, it's just quite ridiculous.
No, yeah, you don't want that, dude. Come on.
But luckily that doesn't affect our team. So I mean, I guess it kind of does affect the Yankees because they have to play there. Some right-handed power. What are you gonna do though, right?
No, yeah. I mean, what can you do? You just gotta crank it, dude.
Yeah. And like we were saying, back to the diamond today. Like we said, both teams with some afternoon action. I don't know. I get it. Like from a travel perspective, I just really don't like midweek games at 12, 1 o'clock.
It is kind of annoying, dude, because it's like I'm not
watching it.
I'm not
and then as
watching.
far as the teams are concerned, I mean, they have to be losing 10,000 fans at the gate
Oh yeah, easily. Dude.
versus if the game was at night.
Yeah, you're totally right.
And how about this? Today, one game after 4:10 today.
Really?
Yeah. Blue Jays Royals 7:40.
Why? Is it because like Easter
Everybody's
break or
traveling.
something?
I think
Yeah.
they're getting a lot of games in early in the year. I mean, I guess I like that to save the rest for down the stretch, but so we'll do some picks here, and I just had updated the picks from Monday here. So obviously very, very early on, going to June 1st, I have a 3-2 lead. And looking at what
Not
we
bad.
have on the board here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 4 apiece. Are you taking the upset special?
Oh, gosh, dude. No, I think I'm gonna stay away from that game.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. That's gonna be that right there, dude. All right, so let's go. Wednesday afternoon games, excuse me. I'm gonna say, oh man, the Braves. No, dude. Wow, Angels minus 170. Ohtani pitching. I knew it. I'll go with Ohtani in Seattle. Why not, dude?
Just got throttled last night, 11-2.
The Angels did.
Yeah,
Well, Ohtani wasn't
Castillo.
pitching though. So
Suarez. Stop it.
Stop it, dude. Otani's going to come in here. Nice two-headed monster here. And I understand, Otani's been pretty solid so far off the start. So is Mike Trout. You heard about Rendon, dude.
Yeah, 4-game suspension.
It was 5-game.
I think they reduced it one to 4, yeah.
A little out of line for Rendon there. But nonetheless, dude, I think give me dingers from each Trout and Otani tonight. Otani pitching a pretty solid, I want to say, maybe 6 2/3. 1 earned run, 3 hits, maybe a walk, dude. Give me 10 Ks from him, double digits for sure. Angels win this one 3-1.
Wow. Yankees picking up the win in a rubber game here. I'm slightly concerned, and I was at one of them last year. It was actually Luis Castillo versus Garrett Cole, a 1 o'clock game in Cole. I think gave up 4 in the first. A Judge, Stanton, back-to-back situation potentially, depending on how the lineup's structured. But yeah, I can see them going deep, and I want to say Volpe, 2 hits, 2 steals, DJ with 3 hits as well. And at the end of the day, it is going to be a Yankee 8-2 victory. Cole will go 7 strong, 12 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 5 hits, no walks.
Wow.
Dominant fashion, Tony. And then they say, load up the bus for Baltimore.
All right. I think I'm going to take St. Louis here against the Braves. St. Louis is looking to avoid the sweep here in this 3-game set at home. First 2 games, I mean, it was pretty tough. I think the first game was 8-4. The Braves won, and it was just like they were going back and forth for a few innings.
Bless you.
Thank you. Going back and forth a few innings, exchanging RBI singles, home runs, and then finally the Braves just pull away at the end. Second game, Braves won 4-1, and it was just like, again, I think it was Riley with a homer, Olsen with a homer, stuff just the Braves bats being pretty hot. But the Braves went through a lot of their bullpen their last game, and now this pitching matchup is Miles Mikolas against Bryce Elder, 23-year-old right-hander. The starting pitcher, he was obviously pretty new to the league here. It's his first season. Went to Texas, dude, gets drafted by Atlanta. Obviously, we know Atlanta's good at drafting players and developing prospects and stuff like that. But I just think here maybe a time where St. Louis really pounces on this youthful pitcher. Not to mention the Braves going to the bullpen last game. Not everyone's fresh. As for the Cardinals, I think it's kind of due to get a nice victory here at home against the Braves. Give me the Cards here. I'm going to say, I'll say 6-2.
I like it. And I know you're going to love this one. Surprised you shied away. I could see from the fact that they got to lose a game, but it's just not going to be today. The Rays are 5-0. Going to be 6-0. Shane McClanahan in the most unbalanced pitching matchup I've ever seen. Patrick Corbin on the other side. I almost wonder if I would. I think his contract's a couple more years. I was going to say if it was just this year, I almost would do Corbin for Hicks. Just to like Matt Blake. Just work out the kinks. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that'd be pretty crazy, dude.
I know he's like, it's that bad. I get that.
It is that bad.
But you're telling me, Tony, I mean, we saw him be a pretty successful pitcher before. I think his first year in Washington was pretty nice. I mean, you don't think just with the right tutelage, he could get to a point where he at least doesn't like embarrass himself?
I don't know, Brian. I mean, it's been pretty poor, and I don't know if you can handle if it's like oh wow, like Patrick Corbin is starting for the Yankees.
Oh yeah, well I would say send him to rookie ball, like really like redo his motion and
yeah. Well, how old is he now?
He's got to be 33, 34. Yeah, rookie ball. I don't know if anybody can do it. Matt Blake can do it. That's all I wanted to say.
That's true.
But he is not flying in for this one, so. McClanahan, I think, will shut down a weak Washington lineup. Maybe 15 strikeouts over 7. Corbin chased after 3 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs. And I am going to say the Rays are going to win this one 10-2 over the Nationals.
Oh, wow, dude. All right, my next game here. I think I'm looking at the White Sox Giants game. White Sox at home in Chicago. We had Dylan Cease on the mound. And you look at, his last start of the season against Houston, 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 10 Ks. I mean, it seems like he's starting the season off to, on the right foot. And that Logan Webb started against the Yankees too recently. Had 12 Ks, but still gave up 4 runs, 2 home runs. So
Right.
I mean, it seems like maybe his stuff is a little bit hittable, but I mean, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant because the White Sox just lost 12-3 last night or 2 nights ago against the Giants. But I'm going to say, give me Dylan Cease. I think he's going to pitch, 7 innings of no run ball, maybe giving up like 2-3 hits, no walks. Give me 12 Ks for Dylan Cease. And Chicago wins this one 3-0.
Dylan Cease, that's a guy the Mets should try to get their hands on.
That would be great, dude.
Maybe White Sox, something happens this year where they, fall off a cliff.
You would hope so.
Never know.
Like literally.
So I'm going to take the Marlins, and this is an interesting matchup here. 2 former teammates. You got Pablo Lopez versus Jesus Luzardo, and we saw Luzardo dominate the Mets last time out in that 2-1 victory. And I just think there's a sense too, Pablo Lopez pitching against his old team. I think they'll know, kind of where to pick their spots to hit him.
Oh yeah.
And I think Luzardo will go, up and down this lineup 1, 2, 3 with ease. And I want to say the Marlins, we're going to say 4-1 victory. Luzardo, 6 innings, no runs, 12 strikeouts.
Love it. It's got great stuff.
It's a shame that it's not Friday because then they can wear the uniforms. Just wear them every day.
Honestly, you really should. Like, come on.
That's something where I feel like they do. Like, I know they occasionally wear old uniforms, but really, let's get back to it. No,
yeah, those are so nice, dude. So fresh.
And I forgot before Cohen took over, had they not been wearing those dark blue/black uniforms?
No, they hadn't.
The Carvel, I think he calls it.
Yeah.
But now they wear that quite regularly, or it's just kind of spotty.
I think it's still like Friday games. They'll do
just
it.
Friday games.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the jersey?
Oh yeah,
because it reminds you, I'm sure, of Piazza,
like
those days. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Agbayani,
dude, so
legends.
Nice. Love those jerseys.
Yeah,
it's a great time there.
What do you got for your 4th and final?
It's a very good question, actually. Let's see, 4th and final here. I'm gonna take the Pirates over Boston here.
Who's pitching? Mitch Keller.
Mitch Keller for the Pirates.
Legend. You saw it firsthand last year.
Boston. Corey Kluber, dude.
Gonna get hammered.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get absolutely popped. Maybe he's gonna last 3 innings. I don't know, dude. Reynolds, by the way, Brian Reynolds,
off to a good start.
4 home runs on the season. Batting .429, 6 RBIs. So pretty hot right now. Adam Duvall over there for Boston, he's batting pretty well. He's getting on base. 9 RBIs for him with 2 home runs, which is pretty solid. I guess one guy to watch out for. But I mean, I just feel like anyone else. I mean, what is Kike Hernandez gonna have like a 3 home run game? No. So give me Mitch here and the Pirates. I think it could get a little ugly, honestly. Let's say 8-2 Pirates win for the sweep.
Wow. I'm gonna take the Blue Jays, our only night game tonight, versus Alex Manoah versus Zach Greinke. What? I know you're a big Zach Greinke guy, but I think he's gonna get absolutely hammered. Chapman, he might get in, and maybe it's Chapman versus Chapman. You never know.
That'd be crazy.
Matt Chapman. But Blue Jays 2-3, not the start that they wanted. And I know Brady Singer beat them the other night when I picked them. But I just think the Blue Jays, Greinke's 85-mile-an-hour fastball is just not going to get him far here. Vladdy, 2 home runs. Bichette, 4 hits. George Springer, 5 hits. And the Blue Jays throttle the Royals 12-2. Manoah strikes out 14.
There we go.
Over 6 2/3.
Love it.
So a busy day of baseball.
Very busy.
Getting started a little early, but it will be a good day nevertheless. And obviously, for our sakes, we hope that these series finales go the New York team's ways.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Before they hit the road, Mets back home, Yankees to Baltimore. Wow. But I think I just heard a bird chirp outside, Tony. If you could get us to the course.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I really had him there. I think,
yeah.
you know.
I was like, what?
Right.
yeah.
No.
It
We
happens
can't just
every
put
Wednesday
it up there.
now. Yeah. I mean, I can just click it if you want.
But is there any way, I don't know, just to somehow show it?
I would have to get up. No, we can do it, dude.
Wow. Oh, and like angle the camera. But while Tony's doing that, and once again, I mean, hardest working man in America right here, Tony. I mean, anything you ask for him, he'll stay up all night. He'll do live shows at 2:30 Eastern, and then get right back at it. So we appreciate that. But obviously, the Masters begins tomorrow. Unbelievable that it's finally here. We got the par 3 contest today. The champions dinner last night. I liked, and I might have. I don't know. I think I just liked the picture, but I don't know if you guys saw it. But it was pretty cool just how they had it all set up, and even the guys. Like Jack Nicklaus, for instance, who's not playing anymore. He still goes to the champions dinner. So it was interesting to see all those live guys in there. Boy, Phil looks weird. Lost a lot of weight, but you just hope he's okay. He just does not look right. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays. And of course, Tiger and Scotty Scheffler at the center of the picture, hosting the dinner last night. What a dinner that must be there at Augusta National. And one thing too, before we talk about specific players, picks, predictions, there is going to be some serious weather this week. Sunday should be nice. Tomorrow is actually going to be a scorcher there. I think 85 degrees, but rain between 40 and 50%. Thank you, Tony. That looks very nice, sir. I know I said that weird, but whatever. So yeah, tomorrow, very hot, chance of rain. And then rain percentages for Friday and Saturday are like 80%, temperatures in the 70s and 60s. So talk about battling it out and talk about too, like, picking your spots. If you get a good weather window, you really have to take advantage of it.
What's the protocol if it's just like a wash the whole weekend?
I mean, if it's just going to get pushed back, and obviously they don't want that, and they try to catch up too. And obviously this field, I want to say it's between 80 and 90 golfers. So there's less guys, so you can catch up. But then also, for the older players or for guys who are nursing injuries and stuff, to have to play 27 holes in a day, I mean, it's a big ask.
Yeah.
So it is 88 golfers actually that I just saw in here, and obviously we know about all of the past champions, having that lifetime exemption into the Masters. And then 2 guys who have been around a while, former champs Sandy Lyle and Larry Mize, playing in their last Masters. I know they're in the high 30s at least, if not 40, in terms of appearances here. So they get their swan song. And so, it'll be nice to see them. But, talking about, the top threats here, in terms of, what we're thinking to have a chance to win it and don that green jacket. Obviously, you have to start with Scotty Scheffler. He's already won a few times on tour this year and highlighted by that win at the Players. So he looks to defend here, coming off a nice, I guess it would be third place finish at the match play. Rory, looking to complete the career Grand Slam here. Came in second last year, chipped in for 64 and 18 on Sunday. Jason Day, we've talked about the Renaissance year he's had, hasn't won, but's competed. So a solid player. You never can rule someone like him out. John Rahm went from, the hottest golfer in the world to not winning for 7 weeks. So
Crazy.
The spotlight has kind of shifted away from him and shifted to Scotty Scheffler, but we know the threat that John Rahm is as he looks to become a multiple-time major champion. Jordan Spieth, a guy who's won here before, has had success, rarely misses a cut here. 2015 was when he won a championship, and then has some recent success with a top 4 at Bay Hill and a top 3 at Copperhead. Xander Schauffele, a guy who hasn't won a major but always is in the conversation.
Yeah.
Tony Finau, same thing. And a very consistent player, usually at the top of the leaderboard here. Colin Morikawa, 2-time major champion and looking to get the career Grand Slam, but obviously is still going to need to get the PGA Championship and the Masters. So looking to make some noise this week. Dustin Johnson, the 2020 champ. Great performance last time we saw him playing with PGA Tour players at the PGA Championship last year. So really looking to, just re-put himself on the map here. You never can rule out a former champion. And DJ, I think he's 37 years old now, but still very much in the prime of his career and would love to have a second green jacket. Sanjay Im, a guy that's won a few times on tour, always at the top of the leaderboard. Hideki Matsuyama, who won back in 2021, has been struggling with some neck injuries, but, obviously one of the top competitors out on tour, can go on a heater at any moment. Max Homa, a guy who's been hot as well, looking for that first major championship. Justin Thomas has 2 PGA championships, but looking to add a Masters win to his repertoire. Corey Connors won, last week. So looking to go back-to-back here after winning at the Valero. Brooks Koepka, speaking of going back-to-back, won the Live Orlando competition last week, looking to make some noise here at the Masters after missing the cut last season. And we saw that documented on Full Swing, just really how low that put him, just in terms of mental capacity. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if he had a strong showing, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he made the cut, missed the cut. Cam Smith, last time we saw him with the PGA Tour players, he was hoisting the claret jug. So he'll look to pick up his second major championship and kind of widely kind of seen as the top live golfer. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do this week. Victor Hovland looking for that first major championship. Patrick Cantley looking for that first major championship. Sam Burns looking for that first major championship. Justin Rose, who won a U.S. Open, I think back in 2013, and has kind of had a renaissance this year. Won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. You also have Matt Fitzpatrick, U.S. Open champion last year. Will Zalatoris, who's had some high finishes at the Masters. Shane Lowry, who won the Open championship back in 2019. And then, of course, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Vijay Singh, Taylor Gooch, former Masters champion Mike Weir, just to name a couple guys. And one of my favorites, and I have to check the age, I want to say he's 67. I'm going to just double check this, but multiple time Masters champion Bernard Langer, who just, I believe, tied the record for Champions Tour wins. And Bernard is 65 years old. Of course, winning it twice and even not that far long ago, making some cuts here at Augusta National. So he'll be looking to, obviously finish as best as he can. So obviously a long list of golfers. You have the live angle, you have Patrick Reed, who's a former champion as well. Bryson DeChambeau, who really has fallen off the map. I mean, you think about all the hype that Bryson DeChambeau had, the drives, and, winning that U.S. Open at Winged Foot, he doesn't even get talked about. But I guess that's what happens when you go to the Live Tour. But I was mentioning Langer, so a tied 29th in 2020, tied 62nd in 2019, tied 38 in 2018, and tied 24th 2016, tied 8th in 2014. So at an advanced stage here, has had some respectable finishes, has made some cuts. So that's something interesting to keep in mind as well. I know it's a lot to soak in, Tony. So many different angles here. You think about the weather too,
right? Yeah, that's tough.
Which will present a challenge. But let's go. Let's start with a winner for the Masters.
I kind of hate to do it sometimes, but I think I'm gonna take a page out of Michael's book. And I'm going to say Tiger Woods, dude.
Are you kidding?
I swear to God. I was watching a interview with him yesterday about the Masters. And, obviously, we know his story. And, the reporters just started off the questioning with such negative questions, And he's talking about how much of a challenge it is just to even walk.
Yep.
For a full day, and what the weather could bring, and how he feels, like how they're talking about how he knows like that there's more days of his career behind him than ahead of him and everything like this, and just getting really sad. And then he just kind of like almost like just changes the mood, and gets like kind of happy, and just talks about just how happy he is to just be playing golf at a competitive level still. Like, this is the Masters, this is the greatest tournament of the year, so much fun for him and everything. And I just feel like he's going to come out here, someone who has that experience with weather, with these type of conditions, over his long career. And I just feel like he's going to like overcome that pain, like overcome really any obstacle. And I think he's going to come out with a dub, dude, a big dub, end the career, dude. It's going to be, I think.
Wait, what do you mean end the like? You're saying end of career,
yeah,
or
end
like
end
not
of his career,
meaning he's
like
gonna win and then walk away?
No, he's gonna win and walk away, but it's gonna be like this is gonna be his last
win. I mean,
wow,
wow, what a weekend it would be here. Easter weekend as well.
Yeah.
Right. So
he has risen.
I hope that I hope we get to see that. I'm gonna go with Cam Smith. Wow. I really want to see just how the golf world reacts with a live player winning a major. I really do think it'll happen this year, and I really hope it'll inch us closer to some type of agreement where all these guys can play together, because we're getting to a point where unless you have past champion status, you're not going to be able to maintain a top 50 world ranking to play in the Masters unless you win another major or win the Masters. So kind of a tough spot these live guys have put themselves in, unless, of course, a compromise comes to fruition. But Cam hasn't won on live since he joined, and I just think he's going to be so energized to finally be back playing with these guys again. And we saw the damage he did at the Players and the Open Championship last year. Throwing a little bit of a curveball here for you, Tony. I want you to give me one guy over 45, Tiger not included, makes the cut.
Oh, I mean, I guess your boy who you're talking about, the 60.
So you're just gonna copy me?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know many players in general over 45, and I just feel like you set me up so nicely for that. I mean, how could I not pick that guy? You went over like the last 6 years, he's been making cuts here. So
all right, so you're gonna go with Bernard Langer to make the cut. This is tough because I was thinking Bernard the whole time. Let me just see here. 1 sec. I just want to look at this leaderboard a little deeper. Maybe a past champion. I don't think Phil's gonna do it. I mean, that would be obviously a easy one to pick here. Let me just take one more look here. So we got this really is tough, I have to say.
Jimmy Walker, Henrik Stenson.
I think I have it, but I'm gonna just make sure.
Lee Westwood, is he around?
I don't think he's in the. Oh wait, when was this article?
This was January.
Oh, okay. No, because he's on live, so I have a feeling he's not in the top 50 of the world. I got my guy, former Masters and Open champion Zach Johnson.
Wow, dude. Okay, that's a good pick.
It's funny because you look at him, still's got that baby face, so you don't even realize he's 45 years old. But has had some respectable finishes on tour this year. So let's see Zach Johnson make the cut. So this is going to be just so much fun. Really can't wait to recap all rounds of the Masters here and just crown a champion on Monday. That's just going to be awesome. Always such a great time of year at Augusta National, and like I said, you could hear the birds chirping, and I really hope, Tony, that your pick here comes through.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Tiger, I mean, the roar. I mean, we thought 2019 was crazy.
Holy shit,
this
dude.
roar would be unbelievable. I think the greatest thing that and anybody else has ever seen.
Michael be beside himself.
Oh my God, it'll be a week straight of just Tiger, Tiger talk,
literally.
Tiger watch, like they do on the Michael K show. But yeah, I'm pumped. Obviously, we'll give you any type of leaderboard update we have tomorrow. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by Makar. He flattens Jordan Stahl. Oh my goodness.
Gets the top right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right. I'm surprised we don't have a bite for that.
We used to.
Oh, okay. As long as we used to.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tony, Rangers back in action tonight. Couple days off here.
Let's fucking go, dude.
After that win against the Capitals. Right now, as they have been, seems like anyway for the last couple of weeks, 1 point behind Toronto, sitting in 5th place in the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah.
So really wanted to get that 4 seed. And I, what I don't get is why is everybody talking about, the Devils could play the Rangers in the first round? Isn't it like almost impossible? They're 5 points ahead of the Lightning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Haven't you heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
But
people just like want that,
and they're 5 points behind the Devils. It's like almost
It's
impossible.
Like, what are we doing here?
So I don't quite get that. But nevertheless, you got a big game here with Tampa, and you really will confirm they'll be the 6th seed with a win here. But you also want to just keep trying to make up ground here against Toronto, who is off tonight. I just want to see when their next game is here. They are tomorrow against the Bruins, so that definitely leaves a good opportunity. And the Bruins, going for that all-time point record, almost having to win out, I think, to get that. So they'll be coming full strength. And this Ranger game tonight, though, will be the first of a TNT doubleheader. So you got Rangers hosting the Lightning 7:30, and then followed by that 10 o'clock you have the Ducks hosting the Oilers, and then a ESPN Plus Jets versus Flames. So you look at this matchup against the Lightning, and I think just when we think about the Rangers playing the Lightning, you always think about a tough, physical, highly contested game, and it doesn't seem like it changes much, as the years go on. And I think this one, the season series right now is tied at 1 game apiece. So obviously the Rangers would love to head into the playoffs and win this season series. You look at the Lightning, they've won 3 in a row. The Rangers have lost 2 out of 3. So they'd love to kind of, one of their arch nemesis, they would love to take out here at home, and really just want to get some cohesion heading into the playoffs. And I think everybody's been firing on all cylinders. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but have you been somewhat surprised on the lack of goals from Patrick Kane?
Yeah, I guess a little bit overall.
I know there's a lot of mouths to feed, but
yeah, there are a lot of mouths to feed for sure. But I mean, I guess you would maybe expect him to have some more. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's been doing a terrific job setting people up too. And I think, I mean, yeah, I understand he's a little older, and I think he's still trying to adjusting to the speed of the Rangers, to kind of find himself in good positions to score. But I think they'll come. I think they'll come in spurts, just like we've seen with Panarin too.
Yeah, I mean, I think if 5 goals in 16 games, so I guess if you kind of weighted that out, it would be like a 20-25 goal season.
Yeah, basically.
But obviously it just matters, what we do in the playoffs. But looking at this game, and other than picking up the W here and making sure that you can leap over Toronto, I mean, is there anything specific that you're looking for out of the Rangers tonight here against the Lightning?
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, probably the first thing they have to do is just challenge Vasilevsky early and often. I mean, I think the Lightning are on like a 3-game winning streak. They just beat the Islanders 5-0. Before that, I think they beat Carolina like 4-0, and then someone else like 5, or maybe Pittsburgh. But obviously only letting up 1 goal in their last 3 games. Vasilevsky, we've seen what he can do when he gets hot. and he knows the implications of playoffs here. So it seems like he's getting hot, focusing at the right time. So he's going to be probably in playoff form. So you really just got to get at him early, get bodies in front of the net, just throw pucks at him, try to get some dirty goals. You're going to have to find a way to get past him. Like I said, I mean, 1 goal over past 3 starts. It's pretty impressive stuff. Not to mention, I think they scored, they scored 5 against the Islanders. I mentioned 5 against whoever else, and maybe 3 other goals in another game. So Kucherov's been on top of it. Stamkos has Braden Point too. You mentioned him, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
he's been having a career year for himself over there in T-Bay. So maybe trying to shut him down. He's someone who was, absent, I believe, in the series, or he came back like maybe the 4th game of the series in the playoffs last year against us. So, maybe that's a guy you want to watch out for and key on him. And then, like I said, just challenge Vasilevsky early.
No, I think you're right. And I think, though, I mean, I don't think it'll be decisive either way. And obviously, I'm hoping for the Ranger win here. But I do agree, just, attack him early, tire him out, make him defend 15 shots in the first period.
Yeah,
do something crazy like that.
Do something crazy.
And I think one thing that you didn't mention, I think is important, you're heading into the playoffs. Let's get these line combinations down. You know what I mean? If there's any tweaking that needs to be done, whether it's the power play unit or the first couple lines, let's make sure that we have the best guys, playing together to optimize, goal production.
Absolutely.
Even if you want to play around with some stuff that you haven't done, I don't know, up to this point. But I would really like to see, Kane maybe with another goal or 2, really get him, heated up heading towards the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we've seen what he could do, leading up to his trade. He had that hat trick for Chicago. So
yeah,
it's there, dude.
It definitely is there. So yeah, I think this is going to be a tightly contested game. And what we can do too as well, is add this to our picks. We got 3 games, so we can each go 1 and then a common. What are you predicting the Rangers score to be?
Oh yeah, give me the Rangers. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 3-1 victory.
3-1, and is it Kane?
I mean, we've been talking about him. I say Kane gets the empty netter at the end of the game here. Get him going a little bit, and a goal and assist there for him. Give me Kreider with the other goal, dirty goal in front of the net, and then Lafreniere the other goal.
Laffy.
Yeah.
Padding the stats at the end of the year, just like he always does.
Yeah.
Who do you think's had a better year, him or Kako?
I would say just by watching Kako.
Yeah, but it's like with Kako, it's like bare minimum. Like you're not like impressed.
No, not impressed, but he's getting it.
I've been impressed with Hedl though.
Yeah, you have to be. And then we signed him again. I think 4 more years too. So that's huge.
And what is he? 22?
24 maybe.
Okay, yeah. But obviously, yeah, that's still very young. I'll take the Oilers as my standalone here. McDavid, 147 points. So looking like he's going to hit that 150 mark, which is pretty crazy. And the Oilers, I think, it can't go understated what a strong year they've had. They're going for their 47th victory of the season.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
So a very strong year, out of them. But I think McDavid gets those 3 points tonight, 2 goals and an assist. And I want to say the Oilers 5-1 over the Ducks, setting up the Jets and Flames. And for that one, we were going to do the old 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3 Flames.
Jets. Let's go.
You've never been a Flames guy.
No, not really. Come on. I mean, I feel like that, I mean, they're not terrible, but I just feel like the Jets, better defense, better goaltending, and that is what is going to win them the game.
Wow. So yeah, short slate of hockey, but obviously Rangers, we just want them to finish the right way here. Heading into the playoffs. And one thing, I'm completely switching gears here, but I was just thinking about it. One more prediction I need out of you before we close here for Augusta. Day 1 leader.
Ooh. I'll take DJ.
DJ as the day 1 leader.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And for me here, let's see. I am gonna go with Xander Schauffele.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
And as we've said many times, almost impossible to go wire to wire at Augusta.
Yeah. Has anyone ever done it?
Look it up.
Oh. Many leaders around one have won the Masters.
Okay, so 1, 2,
1980.
3, 4.
Jordan Spieth in 2015.
Is that it? 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah, quite the run that Spieth was on. I know I said last question, but one more. Other than Tiger, though, is there anybody like that you would like to see win it?
Scotty?
Just like back-to-back champ,
Yeah,
really,
that'd be sick.
The next big force in golf.
And John Rahm too, I guess, honestly, too.
Because it's funny. I think, he gets on these heaters and then we kind of forget, he's only won 1 major championship. I think he has 5 wins on the PGA Tour. He hasn't won 30 tournaments. You know what I mean? But from my mind, I would like to see Jordan Spieth just to really be like, he's back. Because I think, he's shown us spurts, but the consistency hasn't been there. Let's see Jordan Spieth shoot open with a 65, shoot a 67 in the second round, 65 on Thursday, close with a 68. I mean, let's see that,
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
So I think the crowd would get behind him as well.
Right.
But what an exciting time in sports tonight.
It really is, dude. There's so much going on. It's crazy. Huge weekend coming up.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I mean, we got first pitch at Yankee Stadium in less than 2 hours.
Wow. You going?
I wish. But are you cautiously optimistic with Burns or no?
Yeah, very cautious, but optimistic. Yeah.
Setting the tone early.
I know, dude.
Hopefully we'll get some W's that we could talk about tomorrow. Also, I was just going to mention on the way out, Lakers, big win last night. LeBron, I think he had 37 points, game winner in overtime. So right now, I think they're the 7th seed. So I don't know. Maybe Chokery had a point there. Maybe they will hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy.
It's possible, dude.
I would love to get a live reaction from Michael.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so tight.
Did you enjoy the banter yesterday?
Oh yeah, I love it, dude.
Don't talk about pickleball. Man. But other than that, Tony, anything else you wanted to mention on the way out?
Yeah, you mentioned at the top of the show, we have a review out there of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Go watch it, dude. It's a good review. It's fun. It's informative, and it's a good time, dude.
And I think everybody besides learning about the movie could learn something about, movie theater management.
Yeah.
Tony has a nice segment on there. So definitely check that one out. But once again, we would like everybody to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. And as you saw last night, all of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, all the old episodes of Gaming Corner, Sportsport, The Dream is Free, Screen Time, all of the vlogs. You definitely want to check that out and spread the word. And speaking of spreading the word, spread the word that the spring collection is here. Spring is in the air, Tony. DowntimeTV.com. Get your merch. Ask Indigo all about it. But we want everybody to enjoy their day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees. And we will see you mañana.
Let's Rangers, let's go.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.